I'm Tracy Baxter with today's Record Newswatch. Since 12 midnight Thursday, firefighters in Orange County have been kept busy with 3 major fires, the latest of the 3 breaking out shortly before noon, where a huge 3-alarm blaze destroyed a residence in Bullville. The fire ripped through the house at 194 Long Lane off Route 17K. Responding fire officials said the 2.5-story wood frame structure was fully engulfed in flames when they arrived on scene.
Fire is believed to be started on the front porch, made its way up the siding and into the attic area.
Any injuries?
None at this time.
The house had been home to a family of 4, and at least one person was at home when the fire broke out, but there were no reports of any injuries. Between 60 and 100 firemen from 10 area departments were called to the scene. The fire was reported under control early in the afternoon. Fire crews remained on scene during afternoon hours to extinguish hot spots. It was a close call for 2 women in the village of Walden this morning. They were able to escape from a fire that ripped through a residence at number 11 William Street shortly after 3 a.m. Arriving firefighters discovered heavy smoke and flames coming from the basement of the 2-story home. Walden Fire Chief Jody Doherty said while the cause of the blaze has not yet been determined, it began in the basement and spread to the first floor. 2 cats died in the fire. There was another serious fire in the region overnight, this one breaking out at around midnight inside a commercial structure at 24 Windsor Highway in New Windsor. Firemen from several area departments remained on that scene for about 4 hours. They came to add their voices to those calling on the state legislature to repeal the SAFE Act, the controversial piece of recently enacted legislation that puts new restrictions on firearms. This afternoon, a couple hundred gun rights activists rallied outside the Sullivan County Government Center in Monticello to show support for the repeal effort, with speakers including Pastor Donald Sadler of the Life Fellowship Church in Newburgh calling the new restrictions an infringement on Second Amendment rights that penalize law-abiding citizens.
They have disregarded our rights as citizens to buy, sell, and trade, and we will not tolerate it. We will not stand for compromise, and we will demand and we will get a full repeal of the Unsafe Act of New York State.
Well, they're the grassroots, and they should continue to stand and fight for their rights. They should not compromise on it. They should go for full repeal. They should have a right to protect their family. They should be encouraged by us being here together. They should never compromise in the size of magazines, and anything that was unconstitutional we should not stand for.
It's not about guns anymore. It's about your constitutional rights. And that's the bottom line.
The rally was held prior to a meeting of the Sullivan County Legislature, where Legislator Gene Benson was to introduce a resolution calling for SAFE Act repeal. Several communities and counties throughout the state have previously gone on record opposing the new gun restrictions and the way in which the SAFE Act was passed. Funeral services were held this afternoon at Landfield Avenue Synagogue in Monticello for Helen Kutcher, the First Lady of the Catskills, who for more than 75 years welcomed guests to Kutcher's Country Club, the last of the Catskill family-run resorts. Helen Kutcher died last weekend at the age of 89. Those who knew her well called her passing the end of an era. Today, people gather to recall a bygone era and Helen Kutcher's important role during the Catskill Resort heyday. Look for full coverage of the funeral here at Record Online and in tomorrow's Times-Herald Record. This is where a small Middletown area church is hoping to build their own house of worship. Right now, members of the bilingual Iglesia Emmanuel Church meet in the nearby Scotchtown Presbyterian Church. But their dream is to have a church of their own on this vacant lot off Cottage Street in the town of Wallkill. But the long-awaited groundbreaking planned for later this year will be delayed now, following the discovery that between $5,000 and $10,000 worth of construction materials stored on site had been stolen. Church pastor Roberto Lopez says the 30 or so families in his congregation will now have to do even more fundraising.
Our folks are very strong, they're very focused, and they know our vision and our purpose in the community, and so they're strong. they're good. You know, we've been able, like I said, to purchase the property. We bought the building. This was the third step, and just when we think we see the thing happening, it's like, oh, okay, we can't do it this year. And we've been anxious for a number of years, because it's been a number of years we've been wanting to build. And I don't know if the downturn of the economy and people moving away, we thought we could have this built 2 years ago. And so just when we were ready to think we can break the lay a foundation and erect the building, setback. Yeah.
Pastor Lopez hopes they'll be able to break ground sometime next year. In the meantime, police continue their investigation into the theft of the construction materials. They know what they'd like to do, but finding the money to widen a section of Route 17 through Orange County could keep the state DOT project from getting off the drawing board. State transportation officials rolled out their study recommendations during a workshop in Goshen. They say increased traffic projections warrant a widening of the Quickway to 3 lanes using the median areas in both directions along the 22-mile stretch of the Quickway between Harriman and Middletown. The DOT traffic projection study concluded a 3rd lane through Sullivan isn't warranted. Because of state funding challenges, no estimate was given on when the project could get underway. And students, faculty, and staff at Mount St. Mary College in Newburgh, along with members of the local community, were provided the chance to get a health checkup Wednesday as the Mount campus played host to its 20th annual Health and Wellness Fair. More than 50 vendors took part, including local healthcare organizations and medical insurance companies. The 4-hour event also featured free health screenings and the latest health-related information, including the ongoing push for us to make healthy food choices and to exercise. The calendar may tell us it's spring, but our temperatures will continue to be anything but spring-like. Friday will be mostly cloudy and cold, with temperature readings not expected to climb any higher than 40 degrees. Saturday will be sunny but chilly, with the highs only in the lower 40s. You'll find the news and information you need to start your day in the Times-Herald Record, and keep clicking back here at Record Online to stay on top of breaking news. For Record Newswatch, I'm Tracy Baxter.